Alright guys, it's a Saturday update because I'm actually travelling tomorrow. I'm going home to Spain for a couple of weeks. Um, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, work's starting to settle down. So this is a bit of a weekly update, but also uh, it refocusing things. Because one of the things I've been looking at is different ways to make money, different opportunities out there, whether it's e-commerce, doing the stuff that I already have a skill set for, retraining and utilizing that new skill set to do stuff, opening the call center back in the Philippines, marketing stuff around the branding of the channel. Because the channel itself financially does make that much money, it never has. It you probably, if you go back to the older stuff, it's a lot more political. Um, the reason being, it was never supposed to make cash. It was more around just being more of an open forum. Like now, we talk a lot more. And if you go through the channel, there's so many subjects in there. It's so spread. I mean, there's over 2,000 videos. Um, but this is what I'm going to call a breakout year. This is where you start looking at where do you go from here. And it was funny, I was just watching somebody talking about retirement in 7 years. And then he talked about, don't call it retirement, call it freedom. And then he sort of went yada yada yada, and I think he missed the whole point. There's a big difference between the two because he then started going on about getting to a fund where you retire in 7 years. No, there's the fundamental thing here. What you're looking for is actually to become sustainable, so you can actually start doing what you want, or you can expand into other stuff. So if you look at the average person, they are often just going through the motions of going through work until they retire. I don't want to be in that situation. Um, and I was going to say we, but that'd make me a bit assumptuous on what I actually assuming what your goals are. Now, for me, it's all this type of stuff that you spend time with the family, etc., etc. The whole state thing, you go, oh, you, like if you go abroad for a year, they go, oh, you've missed out on your contributions for the year for your state pension that may not be there when you retire. I write all that stuff off. I don't assume there's going to be a state pension there, because that is that's like sucking you in to a state fed system. What I do is, it's a bit like the savings account. Like I said, we've already hit 5k now. You probably think, oh, that's not a lot of money. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. A lot of this, I was explaining this to somebody the other day. If your cost of living is 1,000 a month and you're getting £10 a month interest, you're down to 990 pounds. What's that? Yeah, £990. Because, quite simply, you got £10 interest and you're whittling away at it. It's sustainability. That's why I call it sustainability, not pension, not retirement, not anything but getting to that pinnacle point where you can start expanding into what you do. Um, because what you have in society is actually the opposite, is to stop you doing it. What if you get sick? Have you got health cover when you go overseas? Oh, what about, yeah, what about your national insurance contributions for your pension and all that? You might lose that because if you go overseas for 5 years or whatever, you might not get your full pension. See what I'm saying? It's about why not to do it. Reality is, it takes the incentives out all the time. There's always a reason. Come and sit down in a comfy chair. Not the fact that you need to be focused on the exit, the way to push yourself forward, the way to move in a different direction, the way to accelerate your life. Because I'll be honest with you, the best money I've made has not been in my day-to-day job. The best money has been doing stuff I haven't even moved into a field of. I mean, we're doing solar panels for America. Um, I was my take home was 17,000 a week, and I get people go, "Well, that's bull. That you couldn't do that." In the comment section. Yes, I did, and the people that know me know I did. Um, but the market was we got on the tail end. If I did it a year earlier, we're probably having a different conversation. But we did okay. We bought buildings, got a setup. The building's still there. The call center's still there, um, and we're working through trying to work out how to utilize that. Um, my day to day, I think, is going to tick over at the minute because this is why the money in the account's important, because it's burn money. This is money that I will use to create our next step. Where we're going to go from here. Um, and the reason I'm sort of being more open on this sort of stuff, because I'm sort of, should I just keep it to myself? But then I'm thinking, but the whole point of having these conversations, I know they're one way, is to say sometimes you got to leap. You um, you can talk about it, you can be a thinker, you can be a dreamer, but if somebody calls you a dreamer, you should actually be annoyed about that, because the fact is somebody's telling you that you'll never achieve anything. um, don't accept it. In fact, don't argue with them about it. Do something about it. Prove them the other way. um, so like this week, I've been absorbing a lot of information this week, and I've been looking at different angles, um, because I may end up with doing about 3 to 10 different projects to generate the revenue I need. But then you hopefully get to a point where you can move into something bigger. Um, but the important thing here is progression. Like I said, we started 3 months ago. We got 5k in the kitty now to actually start looking at what we're going to do next. Next month that'll probably be 6,500. But what I'm doing right now is trying to think, what am I going to kickstart in the next 6 weeks, because it's time. And the reason I want to emphasize that is when I put it out here, I've committed myself, but at the same time, it's also to say, guys, do exactly the same. Make the change, make the push. You're not always going to get it right. You don't need to get it always right. Let's face it. You can have 100 things go wrong. You only get it right once. It's it's the one idea that just goes bang, and it's gone. It's your enterprise is there. Because let's face it, I'm like a ping pong ball bouncing in the environment I'm in at the minute. The UK is not for me anymore. I passed this a long time ago. I'm back because of the house in Spain. We got the house. We've got it renovated. We've gone through the hard bit. That's why the office, and that was important. Now the office needs to go live. The office needs to be generating money. The office needs to be my exit. This gets back to the retirement. To hell with retirement. And that there's a big thing about retirement. Retirement is digging your own hole. It's not about digging your own hole. It's about doing what you want to do, doing what you want to achieve, seeing the things you want to experience. That's freedom. That's doing what you want to achieve in life. You only have one of them, so don't hang on to it forever. If you're going to do something, do it. Stop talking about it, do it. And like I'm saying, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, because it drives me, because once I commit to something, I will make that change. I've got to admit, it's just as hard for me as it is for you guys, because I've been so absorbed for the last 4 years in the type of business I work on. I haven't had the opportunity to absorb new data, new information, new ways of working. I'm having to do it in the space of weeks. And I'm finding a lot of good material out there. That's the thing. YouTube's a fantastic tool, because there's a lot of stuff on there, and even if it's, hey, buy my course for $49.99 and I'll teach you everything. You go, right, what do you do? E-commerce marketing. Okay. You can find other information out there free of charge. Or you spend a lot of money on books the way I do. Um, but I've got to admit, it's breakout time. Um, Looking forward to getting back to Spain tomorrow, although it'll be about 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, let's get out there and make some money. Here's an idea, guys. This will also show if anybody's actually listened to the video to the end. I'm going to rename the channel. Road Less Travelled was more to do with where we were on time, from the Philippines to Spain. Either I need to set this up as a new channel, or we need to rebrand this one with something else, a new name. Happy to see what your ideas are in the comments. Thanks for watching.